The History of Tom Jones, a Foundling. Book 15, in which the history advances about 2 days. By Henry Fielding, narrated by Sam Kusi. Chapter 1, too short to need a preface. There are a set of religious or rather moral writers who teach that virtue is the certain road to happiness and vice to misery in this world. A very wholesome and comfortable doctrine, and to which we have but one objection, namely that it is not true. Indeed, if by virtue these writers mean the exercise of those cardinal virtues which, like good housewives, stay at home and mind only the business of their own family, I shall very readily concede the point, for so surely do all these contribute and lead to happiness, that I could almost wish, in violation of all the ancient and modern sages, to call them rather by name of wisdom than by that of virtue, for with regard to this life no system, I conceive, was ever wiser than that of the ancient Epicureans, who held this wisdom to constitute the chief good, nor foolisher than that of their opposites, those modern epicures, who place all felicity in the abundant gratification of every sensual appetite. But if by virtue is meant, as I almost think it is ought, a certain relative quality, which is always busying itself without doors, and seems as much interested in pursuing the good of others as its own, I cannot so easily agree that this is the surest way to human happiness, because I am afraid we must then include poverty and contempt, with all the mischiefs which backbiting, envy, and ingratitude can bring on mankind, in our idea of happiness. Nay, sometimes perhaps we shall be obliged to wait upon the said happiness to a jail, since many by the above virtue have brought themselves thither. I have not now leisure to enter upon so large a field of speculation as here seems opening upon me. My design was to wipe off a doctrine that lay in my way, since while Mr. Jones was acting the most virtuous part imaginable in labouring to preserve his fellow creatures from destruction, the devil, or some other evil spirit, one perhaps clothed in human flesh, was hard at work to make him completely miserable in the ruin of Sophia. This, therefore, would seem an exception to the above rule, if indeed it was a rule, but as we have in our voyage through life seen so many other exceptions to it, we choose to dispute the doctrine on which it is founded, which we don't apprehend to be Christian, which we are convinced is not true, and which is indeed destructive of one of the noblest arguments that reason alone can furnish for the belief of immortality.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?